in an office environment, everybody tends to have roughly similar qualifications. You can have a few days off too. But your job, in your day job, there's always, from everybody I've talked to, there's always one person in office who is the one person who actually tries. And everybody else just takes the piss. Like, the amount of people who will just say, I'm going for my lunch break, and take like a double lunch break. Or, you know, they will like do the bare minimum. And they are technically doing their job, but like one other person is really needing to pick up the slack. And they do it because they're responsible and they work hard. And then another person's like kind of, you know, I think if you're that person, if you're the person who feels like you're doing all the work around the office, remember that if you're already very valued at the office, you already have a good reputation, you already are really well valued by your employer, probably, you can have a few days off too. That way, you might actually train some of the others. If you're not there, what are they going to do? Well, they've got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. Yeah, it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere, you know? But I think it is usually in sort of an office environment, because in an office environment, everybody tends to have roughly similar qualifications on, you know, if you have the same job title. And really the only thing stopping people from being productive in an office environment sat at a computer is just trying, really. If you've got the qualifications and you know what you're doing, the only thing stopping people is the fact that they're just not trying. Maybe they'll have a bad day every once in a while. Maybe they'll have a couple medical things that they, you know. Worst thing is when people just act sick all the time. When they say, oh yeah, I've got this, you know, and they clearly don't, but they just invent this thing to take time off work, and they're like, oh yeah, no, unfortunately this thing is blah da 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 da, blah da 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 da, and then it's like, well, okay, well, we can't investigate, so you go ahead, you go and take the day off, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm just going to take 2 weeks off, and you know they're not sick, you know they're not. And they'll come out with all these stories, and it's like, yeah, right, whatever, sure, whatever you say.